It was just another normal day. Nothing special, nothing different. The house was quiet, like always, the kind of quiet that feels peaceful at first, but slowly becomes heavy. I was sitting alone, going through old things, trying to pass time. Then the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened the door, I saw him. My nephew. Standing there with a small bag and a tired smile. I was nearby, he said, thought I'd visit. I nodded and let him in. At first, everything felt normal. We talked about small things. Weather, work, life. But something about him felt different. He was quieter than usual. Like he was holding something inside. Something he didn't know how to say. I didn't ask. I thought, maybe he just needed time. I had no idea that this normal visit was about to change everything I thought I understood about my own life. We had dinner together. Simple food, simple conversation. But silence kept slipping in between our words. I noticed the way he looked around the house. Like he was searching for something. Or remembering something. "You okay?" I asked finally. He smiled quickly. "Yeah, just tired." But it didn't feel true. Later that night, he sat across from me, holding a cup of tea. He looked like he wanted to speak, but couldn't. "You can tell me anything," I said. He looked down. "I know," he replied softly. But he still didn't say anything. That silence started to bother me. Because it felt familiar. Too familiar. It reminded me of something I had been doing for a long time. Avoiding things I didn't want to face. The next morning, everything seemed normal again. Or at least, it looked normal. But then he asked something I didn't expect. "Are you happy?" The question caught me off guard. I laughed a little. Of course, why wouldn't I be? He didn't laugh. He just looked at me. "Because this place doesn't feel happy," he said quietly. His words hit me harder than I expected. "What do you mean?" I asked. He hesitated, then spoke slowly. "It feels like you're just living here, not really living." I felt a sudden discomfort. I wanted to argue. To defend myself. But I couldn't. Because deep inside, I knew he was right. After he said that, everything felt different. Even the air in the room felt heavier. I tried to distract myself. I cleaned, I organized, I kept busy. But his words stayed with me. "You're just living, not really living." That evening, I sat alone and looked around the house. Everything was in place. Everything was neat. But something was missing. Energy. Joy. Life. I realized something painful. I had been stuck. Living the same routine. Avoiding change. Avoiding feelings. Avoiding life itself. And I didn't even notice when it started. Or when I slowly became this version of myself. Quiet. Distant. Empty. That night, he finally opened up. We were sitting together in silence when he spoke. "I didn't come here by accident," he said. I turned to him. "What do you mean?" He took a deep breath. "I came because I was worried about you." I was shocked. "Worried about me?" He nodded. "I see you, even when you think no one does." His words were calm, but powerful. You stopped doing the things you used to love, he continued. You stopped calling people, stopped going out, stopped smiling. I didn't say anything. Because I couldn't. Everything he said was true. I didn't know how to help, he added, but I knew I had to try. There was a long silence. Then he said something I will never forget. You're still here, but it feels like you gave up on life. That broke me. Not in a loud way, but in a quiet, deep way. That conversation changed something inside me. Something I didn't even know needed to change. The next morning felt different. Not because everything was suddenly perfect, but because I saw things clearly for the first time. I wasn't living. I was just existing. And there's a difference. A big difference. I looked at him and said, "Thank you." He smiled. For what? For not staying silent. We spent the rest of the day talking. Not just about problems, but about possibilities. Small steps. Simple changes. Little ways to bring life back. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something new. Hope. When he left, the house was quiet again. But this time, it didn't feel empty. It felt like a beginning. Because I understood something important. Sometimes, the people who visit us aren't just guests. They are reminders. Reminders that life is still waiting. And sometimes, all it takes is one honest conversation to bring you back to it.